Countdown. Hi. Um, how are you today? I want to do what I normally like to do, and that is to meander into what could have been. And I do that quite a bit because I'm always fascinated by how society operates and move forward, and kind of think to myself, well, what if this situation would have happened, or that person would have done this, and how that could have affected this situation and that situation. I do this with relatively contemporary politics. I do this with historical events. I do this kind of as a personal hobby of mine. And I think right now there's no better person than to talk about what could have happened, what if, than the presidency of Barack Obama from January 2009 to January 2017. Because in a lot of ways, I think that this Donald Trump thing could have been avoided altogether had Obama done a few things correctly, or the way I think things could have been done correctly. I think that Obama could have been a very successful presidency with more peace abroad. I think he could have improved racial relations, had a more fiscal sound economics in this country. And I think that had he played his cards right, we would have been kind of on our way to becoming a thriving social democracy, the way I define social democracy in countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, that sort of thing, where they have it pretty damn good. From what I can tell, the empirical evidence have shown that social democracy is the successful model to follow. American style capitalism doesn't work. The Soviet model from 1917 all the way to 1991, that doesn't work either. An enlightened democracy. Dictatorship of any form doesn't work, and just something that I consider an enlightened path forward. So Barack Obama in 2008 made history as the first black man to be elected to the presidency of the United States. On that front, that is an accomplishment. Now, unfortunately, there were people who voted for Obama simply because of his skin color and not even thinking about policy. And that's not right. And there were people that voted against Barack Obama because of his skin color. Equally an atrocious view to have. To me, I vote for people based on what they stand for, what their policy is, not because of what they are or what they are not. So I want to get that straightened out. And thing about it is, in the Democratic primary in 2008, I was a Dennis Kucinich supporter because we're talking about policy. And for those that don't know who the hell Dennis Kucinich is, I think that probably most of the viewers know who Dennis Kucinich is on this program. But for those that do not know who he was, Dennis Kucinich was a congressman from Ohio in the Cleveland area, where Marcia Fudge is. I believe that was her seat, and Chantel Brown will likely get that seat. Uh, um, Nina Turner was cheated in that particular congressional district, just as they cheated Bernie Sanders for the presidential primary in 2016 and 2020. But anyway, so Dennis Kucinich dropped out. I ended up supporting Mike Gravel in the primaries because I simply wasn't interested in Hillary Clinton nor Barack Obama. I could have been interested in Barack Obama until I saw the debate between Hillary Clinton, where she accused Barack Obama for being for single payer, and Barack Obama thought that was toxic to be associated with being for single payer because nobody wants to be called socialist in this country. So he was just like, no, no, I don't support single payer, he said. And I knew right there he was a sellout, and I knew he was going to throw progressives under the bus. And I was like, nah, the hell with supporting Barack Obama at this point. So I, just like, I'm going to vote for Ralph Nader in the election. And I did. I voted for Ralph Nader in November of 2008. But that's what I did. And again, I voted for Ralph Nader because of policy. And I'll do it again. And the thing about it is that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton ended up, battling it out. Now, weirdly enough, Barack Obama entering the race in the fall of 2007 in the primaries. And I think I do not think he entered the race thinking he was going to get the nomination. I think it was accidental, his rise to prominence. And I think he was actually testing his waters for 2012. That's what I think happened as the senator of Illinois that time. And of course, the conspiracy theories came out of the woodworks about Barack Obama. Jeremiah Wright, with his fiery sermons about God damning America and the anti-American sermons. And here's the thing about that. There were maybe about 3, 4, 5 of those sermons in the 20-some years Obama was a member of that church. And you're going to go and do that, you're going to go and judge somebody by controversial sermons of their pastors or ministers or what have you, I go to church and, not everything that my priest's going to tell me is going to be something I'm going to agree with. I mean, but, that's beside the point. Obama happened to be a member of a church where there was a fiery pastor that made some controversial speeches in sermons, and they would never ever let Obama live it down. And the thing about it is, at that time, John McCain's spiritual advisor was John Hagee, who's 100 times more of an asshole than Jeremiah Wright could ever be. So, give me 1,000 Jeremiah Wrights for every John fucking Hagee that's out there. Fuck John Hagee. So, I'm saying it's all the Republicans who were sitting there criticizing Obama for associating with himself with Jeremiah Wright. Fuck John Hagee. And fuck John McCain for having John Hagee as his spiritual advisor. You heard me. Anyway, these same motherfuckers kept on accusing Obama of being a secret Kenyan and a secret Muslim. And I have said this a gazillion times about the Obama presidency. If you were a Republican during the Obama presidency and you did not like his spending plan, or you may be pro-life, or, you don't like the idea of socialized medicines, well, here's the thing. Those are policy differences. If that's you objectively oppose about Obama, you objectively oppose that about any Democratic president. So that means you're likely not a racist, and you just have policy differences. That's fine. I'm fine with policy differences. I had policy differences too with Obama. It was from the left. But, being opposed to Obama from the right is not necessarily racist. But if you think that Obama is a secret Kenyan Muslim trying to destroy Western civilization, you might as well just put on a white hood on your head and call yourself a Klansman, as far as I'm concerned, or strap a swastika on the side of your brown shirt and just might as well admit you're a fucking neo-Nazi piece of shit. So, for those that hate Obama because they fear black people being president, well, fuck off to all you fucking racists out there. So anyway, Obama versus McCain. Really, no matter who would have won in that election, the American people would have lost, just like any other election. And that's where I stand. Now, Obama, again, bad people and not so bad people on the right, on their, will accuse Obama of being a socialist and a communist. And I think that even a lot of the conservative critics find that laughable today. But back then, I mean, it happened. I mean, of course, some of these people think that Joe Biden is a socialist and Kamala Harris is a socialist. Um, it shows you where we're at in our society. But I want to play you this clip here because it's relevant. I'll continue to comment afterwards. Give me a moment. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yep. La di da.
I don't know that there are a lot of Cubans or Venezuelans, Americans who believe that. The truth of the matter is that my policies are so mainstream that if I had said the same policies that I have back in the 1980s, I'd be considered a moderate Republican. I mean, what I believe in is a tax system that's fair. I don't think government can solve every problem. I think that we should make sure that we're helping young people go to school. We should make sure that our government is building good roads and bridges and hospitals and airports so that we have a good infrastructure. I do believe that it makes sense that everybody in America, as rich as this country is, shouldn't go bankrupt because they get sick. So the things I believe in are things that I think most of your viewers believe in.
Okay. Well, and pretty much that summed up the Obama presidency. What he just said. He would have been considered a moderate Republican during the Reagan era. Never I heard more truer words than what he said there. Now, he made some mistakes in his presidency, and all presidents do make mistakes in hindsight of what could have been done to make a presidency better. And I'm going to go with Obama. The initial spending bill that he came up with in 2009. It could have. It seemed like it was throwing a lot of money into welfare without thinking. And I'm not one of those means testing, and demonizing people on food stamps or what have you. I mean, just too much of that. In fact, I pretty much am okay with the welfare system. There are always things that can be done to make it more efficient without harming those who are in need of it. But the problem is that usually when people come up with solutions to welfare, it usually means harming those that are affected by it instead of actually helping them. And my philosophy is the best cure for welfare is a good old fashioned unionized living wage job for as many Americans as possible, and to make it more profitable to work than to be on welfare. I mean, and that's and what I mean is that if when you're down on your luck, you want to have a job because it's going to be more profitable to work than not to work. And that's the way it should be. And I do not know why conservatives do not see it that way. They claim they're all for an equal playing field, not equality of outcome. But a lot of conservatives and even many liberals too do not really genuinely believe in an equal playing field. They think that an equal playing field is somehow equality of outcome, and that is not the case. Build back better now. Not the watered down, pissed off version done by in Deep Sixth and fucked over by Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, but the original one that Bernie Sanders was pushing forward, that Build Back Better program. That particular bill would have been just what we needed in 2009. And unfortunately, they did not think about it in those terms, because a lot of liberals do not have imaginations. They think they can just throw money at something without any planning or what have you. And they're just as irresponsible as conservatives in a lot of ways. And there's a difference between being a liberal and a socialist. Andrew Hammer, who I used to know in the Socialist Party USA and in Democratic Socialists of America, said one time that the difference between a liberal and a socialist, that is that when a liberal propose something, they'll talk something to death. Socialists were actually, when given an opportunity, will not just talk something to death. They will actually do something to solve a problem. And which brings me to my next point: healthcare. You hear it all the time. Healthcare this, healthcare that, healthcare accessibility. Healthcare. What we need to do about healthcare. And nobody ever really talks about what needs to be done about healthcare. And so, because they don't want to be called socialists, a lot of these damn Democrats, they'll go and do everything in the fucked up market system and call it healthcare reform, and it does nothing but make the medical industrial complex in the private sector wealthier and really just create a multi-tier system. So, they don't really believe in a true governmental solution. And I'm sorry, governmental insight over and management over a corporate model of healthcare, it's not socialized medicine. So, the thing about it, instead of going with Medicare for all or single payer, they decided to go and take a plan drafted by the Heritage Foundation it became Romney Care in 2006 in Massachusetts. And Obama, and I understand where Obama was coming from, but he was still a dumbass for doing this. And his thoughts was, I could bring people together. A Republican governor brought a conservative health care plan and called it universal health care in Massachusetts. So if I take a conservative idea and introduce it to the liberals, I can have the liberals and the conservatives coming together singing Kumbaya. He was thinking bipartisanship. Fuck bipartisanship. Ron Placone once said that bipartisanship means that the Republicans come up with a bad idea and the Democrats go along with it. Fuck bipartisanship. We should have gone with Medicare for all, full steam, single payer Medicare for all. But no, Obama was too much of a pussy. Just like Bill and Hillary Clinton were spineless and pussies too for not pushing forward with single payer when they had a chance. So, we ended up with Obamacare, and I think that the Heritage Foundation came up with this idea because they know what pussies Democrats are, and they figure the Democrats would just do anything just to get something done, and no matter how hollow or ass backwards it is, and it will make the insurance companies wealthier, and the Republicans won't have to do anything to push this plan because they know the Democrats will, and that they can officially be absolved and not have anything to do with Obamacare, which is stupid because it's called Romney Care for a reason, and it was the Heritage Foundation. And I remember telling liberals back then, do not ever adopt anything by the Heritage Foundation. If the Heritage Foundation comes up with an idea or proposal, just reject it. Do not ever look to the neoconservative Heritage Foundation for anything, because shit in a toilet is more valuable and more insightful than anything that comes out of the fucking Heritage Foundation. And so Obama and the Democrats went with Obamacare. And I think that the plan was, the right-wing plan was to make fucking sure we'll never have Medicare for all. We'll never have a single-payer system. We'll never have a national health service. And that's where I think that came in. And so, I mean, and it looks like I'm going to be right after all. I'm going to be correct as usual. And there's not even any push right now for Medicare for all. And I remember Democrats last year, left-wing Democrats, well-meaning people saying, hey, we're going to push Biden to the left. Well, I'm glad I voted for Howie Hawkins, and I'll do it fucking again, because, we're not going to get Medicare for all. We're not even going to get a public option that we needed. We needed a public option. The minimum we could do is to lower age eligibility of Medicare down to 60, and that's still not a bold as Hillary Clinton's health care plan. I believe was going to lower Medicare eligibility to 55. So yeah, so even Biden at his most progressive last year, his health care plan proposal was slightly to the right of Hillary Clinton's. That's sad. That is absolutely sad. So if he wasn't going to really do anything serious about healthcare, what Obama needed to do, this would have made his presidency more successful than anything else, and that would have been passage of the Employee Free Choice Act. It would not have gotten rid of right to work laws, which I favor repealing the Taft-Hartley Act right away. In all 50 states that will be closed shop and not have this right to work laws. And now I'm thinking it's like 27 states now have right to work laws. And unions got weaker under Obama. A handful of states that were not right to work laws became right to work states as a result. Wisconsin, Kentucky, West Virginia, Michigan, all those fucking states became right to work states. And Indiana. So I mean, and I joke that those states joined the Confederacy as far as I'm concerned. And I remember there was always these massive attacks against state employees throughout the various states in the country. And I remember that dumbass radio talk show host in Raleigh, Bill LeMay, on WPTF bragging to somebody from some right-wing think tank about how he looks forward to state governments treating state employees the way public sector employees were treated in Greece during those years. And that's kind of exactly what is happening in this country right now. And so anyway, if what we needed was the Employee Free Choice Act, which would have actually made it a little bit easier for unions to organize. Basically, the petition process, 50% plus one, simple majority to get a unionized contract going. Yeah, you still have right to work, but you'll undermine right to work with this law, because it will make it easier for unions to organize even in right to work states, and the more unions you're going to have, the better working conditions are going to be throughout the workforce in this country. Even non-unionized jobs will start to raise wages and have better benefits because they don't want that union around. So they're going to try to bribe their employees not to go with unions by actually giving them decent wages. So if Obama would have done that, one piece of legislation, we would be so much fucking better off today as a result. And I would have been willing to vote for Obama in 2012 for re-election if he would have done that. And he did not do that. So, that's where I'm get very angry. That one legislation alone would have made Obama a great president. The Employee Free Choice Act. And unfortunately, we will not, we're not going to see the growth of unions because, Joe Biden, who's from Scranton, promised to be a working class unionized pro-union presidency, and I'm not really seeing any talk about pushing for labor law reforms that we are in bad need of. And we need labor law reforms. We need to go and make the union stronger again, because I mean our standard of living is a race to the bottom now. We're going to become a third world country because of the lack of unionization. When the private sector is 6% of the workforce, fuck that. We need to be 80-90% of the workforce unionized like it is in the Nordic countries. I mean, even and that model is so successful that you wouldn't even have to have a minimum wage in this country, because unions are so strong they can determine the wages. So, it's really ironic that when I hear conservatives talk about certain things that these Nordic countries do that should be appealing to appealing to them, such as lower corporate tax rates and no minimum wage or what have you. You see, those things can happen but they have universal unionization or near universal unionization. So wages are high in those countries. But they don't want that. They want to get rid of the minimum wage and make it harder for unions to form. So, fuck people like Ben Shapiro. And seriously, fuck people like Ben Shapiro and people like Bill LeMay from WPTF radio from a decade ago. Even fuck him today because he's still a fucking asshole. But anyway, Middle East policies. Obama did something really awesome with the Middle East. He the peace treaty that the United States and Iran agreed to. Fucking awesome. Fucking base. We needed more of that. That if that would have been kept in place, Iran would be on its way to becoming a Western nation. I mean that they would dump their nuclear weapons plans, and they would be I think they were on their way to becoming a secular democracy, a Western democracy. They're not a terrorist threat to the West at all. I mean, when you compare Saudi Arabia, I mean, please, Iran is not the it's not the pariah in the Middle East that the neoconservatives make them out to be. It's not what I would favor government wise. I mean, there's really not a government in the Middle East that I respect in 2021. Be it Saudi Arabia, be it Iran, be it Israel, be it Egypt. I mean, they're all every fucking government in that region's fucked up. But what I'm basically saying is that this peace treaty, had it gone through the way it needed to go through, and Donald Trump ripped it up because he wanted to appeal to the secular neocons in the Republican Party who wants to start a war with Iran, and he wanted to appeal to evangelical Christians who embraces a neoconservative foreign policy to try to start Armageddon or World War III or something like that. So the thing about it is that Obama did good with this peace treaty, and fuck Donald Trump for ripping up and walking out of this peace treaty with Iran. But Obama did not pull out of Afghanistan, and he did not pull out of Iraq, and what happened over there in Libya made Libya a much worse situation than it is. The way I see it, aside from the peace treaty with Iran, I don't see why all these Republicans think he was so soft on terrorism and all of that and everything. I mean, and to sit there and to respect people like Dick Cheney, who kept on criticizing Obama on foreign policy. Well, because Obama exported torture to another country and made sure there were some rainbow flags behind them when they're being tortured. That's basically what it comes down to. There was really no fundamental difference between the Obama presidency or the Bush-Cheney regime time period in regard to foreign policy, other than it was a little more intersectional. That was about it. Intersectional droning, please. So anyway, I just wanted to sum that up, and I will conclude by saying that if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. If you disagree, comment anyway. We will have a conversation. Share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Feel free to share the content, and feel free to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. I am American Social Democracy, and I shall leave you with a little bit of music. And anyway, y'all come back. You hear? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I got a commercial. I am so sorry. Let me do this real quick. Because I don't like fucking commercials. I need to get an ad blocker. That's what I need to get. Oh yeah, I was so smooth doing this, wasn't I? Huh? Okay. All right. Let me go back to what I was doing here. Y'all take care. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Ciao.